Hello guys, this is my 15-minute PowerPoint presentation for my film idea called Smile of Hope. I would have a time limit on this, so if you have any other questions or any other references or want to see in more detail, I'll refer you to my website which has everything in full detail. Some of these I'll just show you and skip over. Thank you and enjoy. The film general spec is meant to be a British film, and it lasts 1 hour and 55 minutes, and it's just a project that I have to create based on British film with British original production, meaning British values such as like the synopsis, the key scenes, the characters lists, and the title meanings. These are the general specs for the film, like the running time, the resolution, the genre, and more. The synopsis is about a very young woman, about a 27-year-old woman, who is diagnosed with a deadly disease just as she was about to start her life, and she has to go through the fact that she hasn't even started her life and it's about to end. The cancer she has is um, leukemia, which is the cancer of the blood, which is very hard to cure. And the crazy plot twist is she breaks up with her boyfriend, is sent her into an utter despair, and she can't cope with it. The realization that she has nobody to love her in that way anymore. Her parents are divorced as well, and they are doing their own things, meaning they're very strong individuals who like to stay independent, which means they do not get to see her as much as they should. Her mother tries, but her father doesn't really find it like a mandatory thing since she's old enough to take care of herself. This is my original idea. I explain it on here, explaining how general ideas for drama films would be laid out. The man will find two characters who don't know each other will find each other in a remote location like an office. They'll start talking to each other, they'll develop some feelings, emotional connections. After a while, they'll start dating, going out, seeing each other. Then something bad will happen. This is disruption, and this is known as disruption, and this is where something negative impacts their life. And they get over it, they'll find a solution for it, and then after that, they'll get over to a new equilibrium, which is where everything's peaceful and they live happily ever after. However, my story also follows these stages, but not in that particular order. It starts with a near the end, like 80% um, way through the film, and then it works its way back when she's in a hospital and she has flashbacks of all the good memories and all the bad times and all the things that made her human, and when she was happy she took it for granted, and it moves up to the 80% and then it finishes it, which is the new equilibrium. So it works backwards using flashbacks. And yeah, these are the casting. Main character, Tony Ellsworth, and the secondary character, Tom Leighton. He is the young child who is also diagnosed, but not with a serious condition as she is. He was diagnosed with the cancer of the kidney, which means he just had a bad kidney, but both his kidneys were affected, which means he needed one to be donated. and they bonded. They had a relationship, like a friendly relationship. He helped her go through difficult phases since they were in the same boat. These are the character costumes, one for Tiny and one for Tom. These are the secondary characters, Tiny's boyfriend, Finn, and the Doctor. And they also have like costumes and as well. I'll past, quickly rush through these so you can see. There we go, the parents, their costumes, the nurse, who also helps Tiny go through her problems, and that's her costume as well. Script. The script was very well thought through. I took the time, and after getting feedback from my producer, I had to make some minor changes. Like it's not um, dialogue heavy anymore. Now it's just narratives, like very few dialogue. The only place there's kind of dialogue heavy is here, and that's near the end. The rest just little tiny bits that I need to fill in, like okay and stuff like that. But the rest are mainly narrative heavy. And this was due to my feedback from my producer, which I made a change. This is my pre-production plan. It's very detailed. I have a link here if you want to search it. It took me time. I also have the keynotes. It's like a mini contingency plan I use to help me. Like if I need uh, an extra camera, I'll write it down in these here, and then I'll tackle that problem. Or if you need another hotel, or if you need another editing software or something like that, we'll put it there, and I'll jot it down. I'll tackle the problem. Target audience. Uh, the target audience for this film is 15 to 35-year-old. The reason being is because it's full of mature content which speaks out to the older audiences more. However, the situations that happens in the film can relate to audiences of all ages. The reason for this can be explained by Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which says um, people are in different categories of psychological needs, from security to self-fulfillment to self-enlightenment. However, the audiences that my film is aimed towards are people who are in a general basis of life safety. But since the main character is not even in that category, she can't even, in this mental state she's in a biological and psychological stage, which is where most of our audience will be. Moving on, more about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As you can see, here's the hierarchy itself. Psychology. This is where the main character is. This is where our like audiences will be, from the love and belonging, which is what our main character strives towards. She wants love and belonging, but she's here right now because, like, with her mental condition, food, sex, eating, water, sleep, everything proves so difficult to her. I explain it more here as well. Type of audience and storyboard. I also edited the storyboard. I added like diegetic sounds and cut scenes and stuff like that to make it more clear. Yeah, you know. USP, the thing that makes I talk about what makes my show really unique is that it's a romance drama, and it touched on real life subjects. It's mainly leans towards female audiences. However, it the male audiences are also a prime, like, secondary audience in this. Classifications, I said this is for D classifications, people, which are people who are normal working class students as well, and they get through their everyday things and just like work, sleep, family time, and stuff like that. And this is the funding. The funding for this is minimum estimated over to 5 million or less. It's a very low budgeted film. Reason being, it's not a very high budgeted film because it's based on real life story, which means there's no CGI, no effects, no, just the only thing that's like officially necessary for like the effects in terms of make will be makeup and props, and that's just it. Like it's not very high budgeted in terms of, it's not heavily, no animations that are needed as well. It's a very calm and casual film that follows real life events. Yeah, and the BBFC, we wrote a letter to the BBFC, and they funded us as well as ASOS, which is where we get our clothing from. They gave us the clothing, and in return, we are technically free advertising their products as well. It's like a win-win situation. We also started a Kickstarter as well. This is the budget planner, as you can see. Yeah, the it's feasible. Like it's not a high budgeted film. We used Kickstarter, which is a website where you can put down your ideas and people can choose to fund it openly if they like it. And we got over 900,000 from it, which was amazing, mind blowing to think people really wanted to contribute to their like to their countries, and other people outside of their country as well contributed. Um, yeah, it is really amazing. And this is the funding. Still, uh, the the money for the Kickstarter is adding up every day, so it's going up. So we estimate it will have under 5 million. And yeah, this is the concept design which I did on Photoshop. This is the DVD cover will look like. Smile of Hope. Did one from a different angle. Legal ethical problems, as you can see. Like we won't show any content that does not apply to our audience's age, and if it does, and if we do, we will take it down ASAP and apologize for the mistake. Like that. This is the font design. I talk about why I used a specific font and why I didn't use the others. Uh, and yeah, my reasons for that. Text and the title design. I got a feedback from here that it's too light and you can't see it. However, this is what it's going to look like when it's fading out of the screen. This is like a screenshot of when it's fading out of the screen. So it's darker than this, but at that specific time, that's when I screenshotted it. So that's why you cannot see it. This is a darker version that you can see. But yeah, moving on. This is the locations, London location. And then the characters originally lived in London, but they had to move to Southampton since that's where the cancer research hospital is based in Southampton. So they moved in Southampton. And this is the set design for where they'll be. This is my hyperlink for my questionnaire, which I used to get my feedback from my producer. And yeah, I referred you guys to that. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and if you have any further questions, check out my blogger. It will be linked underneath my YouTube account. And if you have any further questions, leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you very much. This is Temi Adeboale, and have fun.